Hello. Good evening, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. How you doing? It's Thursday. The traffic is all gone off the expressways around Atlanta. Hopefully our governor will soon be gone, too. Hi, Kathy. That's an interesting hat you have on tonight. You look like Gabby Hayes.
Why, thank you. Yeah.
You don't know who Gabby Hayes is?
No, but I'm a cowboy tonight.
Wait, let me get in the frame. There we are. Where am I?
You're on the wrong side of the road.
I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side. There I am.
Right.
I can't keep this, I'm not used to television. I have, here, I know. How about if I move it?
Yeah. For all of you listening and not watching the show, this is fascinating, I'm sure. But yes, tonight I'm a cowboy.
Yeah, well, everybody who watches this, listens to it, should get online. Go to livestream.com.
Unless they're in their cars, and they shouldn't watch because that could be dangerous. As dangerous as trying to drive in Atlanta when there's white stuff falling from the sky.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Truth Seekers, getting down to the really serious stuff tonight. I guess this comes under the heading, no money, no food, right? You heard about this, I'm sure. This is the third time a story like this has popped up in mainstream media. This time it's in Utah. Children at a Utah elementary school were in tears yesterday after a district nutrition manager seized the lunches of up to 40 students because they had a negative account balance in their little lunch accounts. We do this with Molly every year. She doesn't use it. We fix food at home. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the last time Molly ate school lunch, actually, which is only the second time this year she's had school lunch, was Tuesday. And she came home and
she had diarrhea for 3 days.
She had food poisoning or something. And I said, what did you have for lunch? And she said, cheese dippers.
Cheese dippers.
I said, what are cheese dippers? And it's like cheese that's been breaded and then rebreaded and then deep fried and then dipped in oil.
You know what it's deep fried in?
I don't even want to know.
Petroleum byproducts. Yeah, well.
It's all I know is when I went in the kitchen one time in the cafeteria, there was this 5-gallon industrial tub of something that said low melt. And it's apparently what they put in low melt.
Well, that's what they use at the Waffle House.
Probably came from China.
Yeah. Anyway, according to the Salt Lake City Tribune, these 40 kids had already gotten their lunches. They were sitting down to eat at the Unitah Elementary School in Salt Lake City when the child nutrition manager ordered cafeteria workers to take the meals away. Just go out to these 40, they have negative balances in their school accounts. Go get them, take them. So the cafeteria workers did. A 5th grader named Sophia Isom told the station KSL, she took my lunch away and said, go get a milk. I came back and asked, what's going on? Then she handed me an orange. She said, you don't have any money in your account, so you can't get lunch. This little girl said the lunches were thrown away after being taken from the students. These sons of bitches, I'll tell you, I see something like this and I keep thinking, come on, the revolution. Come on, please. Sophia's mother, Erica Lukes, said, quote, there were lots of tears and it was pretty upsetting for the kids. Although the school district said that the parents had been notified about negative account balances as early as Monday, this mom pointed out that she was never told, even if they did try, she said, to send the word out. You still don't do that to a kid. Yeah. What does the school charge for these lunches? Well, if Molly ever were to buy one, what do they charge? $1.25?
They're under $2.
Right.
Yeah, but how outrageous. They're going to take the food away
after it's been served.
And then throw it out. So the kid could have eaten it.
Good lesson.
If they wanted to eat
no,
it.
I'm glad it happened. Those 40 kids now will appreciate and open up to the ideas of socialism. Those 40 kids will appreciate and open up to the horror of capitalism. No money, no food. Period. The Salt Lake School District, in a statement posted to Facebook, said that the district admitted that, quote, the situation could have and should have been handled in a different manner. We apologize. Oh, bite me. You apologize? The statement went on to say, we're also investigating what type of notification parents may or may not have received prior to this week. The district has specific guidelines for school kitchen managers on how parents should be notified, and we are currently investigating to see if those guidelines were followed correctly. Nobody gives a goddamn about your guidelines. Really. Guidelines, schmeidlines. I'll tell you what to do. 40 kids. Feed them. And then have one of your, one of your office staff. Oh, I know. Look, this is Utah. You can afford this. Have one of your office staff get on the phone after lunch. Call the parents. Mrs. Smith, Robbie's account is overdue. Please send in some money. Okay. Bingo. Stupid bastards. The statement from the school district went on to say, we understand the feelings of upset parents. Do you? And students who say this was an embarrassing and humiliating situation. We again apologize and commit to working with parents to rectify. I got your rectify. To rectify this situation and to ensuring students are never treated in this manner ever again. Cross my heart and hope to die. Lee in New York City says, thinking about Republicans who love the fetus, but only the fetus. After all, Republicans learned their morality from the Bible. Well, then how about Matthew 25:35, New King James Version, quote, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. What translation did Republicans hear in church? Well, Lee in New York City, by God, wasn't that translation, Lee. It's just astonishing. What kind of an adult does that? Well, I was just following the guidelines. I had to go take the food back from these little children. I had to take the food back. It says so, right? This hour is being sponsored by David Welch. Thank you, David. He has a message. I enjoy your show and appreciate the opportunity to listen. We may be doomed by our collective folly, but we can still save each other, one at a time. Thank you, David. Apparently, that doesn't apply in the elementary school system in Salt Lake City. Not all the time. You know, every time I see one of those, one of those stories, I just almost lose it. Going back to Molly, we don't allow her to eat the garbage and she goes to a good school, but the school is part of a system, and the institutional food that's presented in this system, I wouldn't feed to a bunch of goddamn carp out in one of our local parks. I just wouldn't do it. So Kathy packs her lunch every day, and occasionally Molly will say, oh, but she'll never say that again. Oh, we're having cheese poppers tomorrow, Mom. I really want I want the cheese. Okay. So it was a moment, a very strong teaching moment for me. I mean, I'm that kind of a parent. Probably shouldn't be. But, when Molly, along about 4 p.m, Daddy, oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, she only ate about a third of her supper. She was on the commode about 6 times. Tuesday night, what'd you have for lunch, honey? Cheese poppers. And I know that's what it was, because none of us in the family have any kind of viral infections. And I ate for dinner the same thing that Molly could barely eat. Cheese poppers. Cheese dippers? Oh, they're called cheese dippers. Oh, my mistake. I thought they were poppers. So Molly accepted the teaching moment. Daddy, no, I won't ever do that again. So, we always put, $50 into her little lunch account. So that occasionally she can buy an ice cream or maybe a milk if she wants it, but lesson learned. But these people in Utah, the story stands on its own. We'll be right back.
Santa Claus does not exist and there's no Easter Bunny. You'll find out when you grow up that Big Bird isn't funny.
Life's gonna suck when you grow up, when you grow up, when you grow up. Life's gonna suck when you grow up. It sucks pretty bad right now. You're gonna end up smoking crack on your back. Face the fact. You're gonna end up hooked on smack and then you're gonna die. And then you're gonna
working 2 jobs, and my husband works too. My kids go to school with your kids. I'm 1 out of every 6 Americans, and my family is struggling with hunger. I believe in this country, but it's hard to believe so many Americans have to choose between paying bills and feeding families. Visit feedingamerica.org and find your local food bank. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for those struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Last year, millions of parents discovered they were their teen's drug dealer. They found out that teens today are abusing substances that many parents would never think of as dangerous, including prescription pain relievers and stimulants. Some kids have even used over-the-counter cough medicine to get high. Talk with your kids about the dangers of medicine abuse. Visit drugfree.org to join the Medicine Abuse Project and help end this epidemic. A message from the partnership at drugfree.org.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present.
When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
When I grow up, I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch.
I want to be a skyscraper.
I want to be
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
.21 past the hour. I would recommend tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern on ABC's 2020. We have got it scheduled for porting. It's a special on kids and guns, and I've seen some of the video from it, some of the teaser video from it, and it's going to be one hell of a show. And I think everybody, if you have children who, in your immediate or your extended family, and you happen to be a gun owner, you should watch this, seriously. I was thinking when I did see some of the teasers on ABC, Molly spends time at sleepovers at other kids' houses, and I have never, and I'm going to start doing this the next sleepover she has. I've never asked the parents of these kids, what is the firearm situation in your house? And nobody's ever asked me. And frankly, I think, I guess it's been about equal, hasn't it, Kathy? The number of sleepovers Molly has gone to and the number of kids that have come here, right? It's about an equal distribution. But I've never had a parent say to me, "Hey, Mike, what's the situation about firearms in your house?" And one of Molly's good friends, her dad is he works for CDC. Only he's a naval. He's a Navy. Well, how would you define him, Kathy? I'm talking about Sarah's dad. How would you define? He's a lieutenant in the Navy.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant somehow with the public health division of.
But he's stationed at CDC.
Military service, but
right.
He's stationed at CDC and he works in research somehow. But every once in a while he picks Sarah up and he wears this jaunty little uniform.
Well, it's called a Navy officer's uniform.
Jaunty.
Jaunty. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm talking to you, Brian.
Anyway, Brian has never asked me. What the gun situation is in our house, which kind of surprises me. I mean, he's military. He's involved in public health. So anyway, starting the next time Molly gets an invitation, this is something I haven't done. And I can't believe that I haven't done it. And I guess it's because the firearms that I have in this house are kept so secure and so invisible. And yet what this program is going to show, I saw one of the previews, is how quickly kids, especially little kids who are more curious about what mommy and daddy are doing than, say, a 9 or 10-year-old, how quickly little kids can find where you've stashed your weapon when you think the kid would never find it. So this is something, I've discussed guns with Molly. And I don't know if she know. Does she know that we have weapons, firearms in this house? Yeah. She does know that? Okay. But she apparently doesn't care. I don't know. But this puts a whole different light on my attitude, and perhaps yours too, about when your kid goes to spend the night at a friend's house. Or I would think that Molly's friends' parents would ask me. Well, they probably will now because I'm going to broach the subject. I just hope I hope nobody gets offended. This is Atlanta. This is Georgia. This is not, we don't live in Atlanta. But I hope folks don't get offended because I'll just say, I always want to preface it by saying I'm kind of ashamed to be a gun owner. I really am. It's going to stop at some point, not the shame, but gun ownership. I never would have done this. When I was, like I said, when I was a teenager, I used to hunt pheasant. I used to go squirrel shooting, which was ridiculous, but, we shoot them with 22s. Oh, you miserable human, you. I've never gone deer hunting, never gone after bigger game, but I just never paid that much attention to guns until I had to start having one available because the Christian Reconstruction movement put me on their hit list. What are you going to do, right? All right, we have a break coming up here momentarily. There's a new bullet out. Reg sent this to me. It's from, I guess it's from the New York Daily News. There's a new bullet, a new kind of ammo. They put 3 specific projectiles into one single bullet. And the advertising tagline that goes with this new product, it's from Denver-based Advanced Ballistic Concepts. The advertising tagline, because you can't afford to miss. So there's more about this when we come back. All right? Stay with us. I'm Mike Malloy.
Blow something up. That's what bombs were invented for, so you could blow stuff up. Come on, let's roll. Let's blow something up. Blow something up. Blow something up. That's what bombs were invented for, so you could blow stuff up. Come on, let's roll. Let's blow something up. When all else fails, let's blow something up.
Hi, True Seekers. It's Mike Malloy. Have you tried Nova Joint yet? That's the physician-designed formula for smooth gliding joints. Join the thousands of happy Nova Joint users who have finally found relief from persistent joint pain without using glucosamine or chondroitin. A satisfied customer in Winnipeg wants to share his story. Quote, I think Nova Joint is definitely helping my very bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries on one knee and 2 on the other. I have pretty bad osteoarthritis. I also cannot take NSAIDs and need to take prescription medications nightly for low-grade pain relief. While my knees are still sore, they're much less so, and I attribute that to taking Nova Joint for the past month. End quote. Hey, it even works for our Canadian Truth Seekers. Don't let joint pain stop you from enjoying your normal activities. Visit MikeMalloy.com, click on the Nova Joint ad, and use my special discount code MIKE, or save even more on 3 bottles when you use the code MIKE3. Stop hurting and be happy.
I've heard so much about Magic Touch, Campana's new cream makeup. Is it so very different from other makeup?
Magic Touch is a cream complexion makeup that you apply with your fingertips. Gives you that new complexion loveliness that women are demanding today, the unmade-up look. Magic Touch provides a feminine, delicate, fragile makeup beauty, the Dresden doll-like complexion that women are seeking.
What does it look like?
Magic Touch is a wafer-thin cream in a beautiful white and gold compact. It offers you 6 new complexion-flattering shades. All you do is stroke your fingertips across the surface of the cream, apply to your face, and blend. Try it tomorrow. Scratching and irritated skin can cause serious infection. If you're troubled with skin irritation caused by eczema, hives, winter rash, use DDD prescription.
what kids will do with these is it will occupy them for 2 hours while I'm doing other things. And then they can hang them in the room, dolls out of them. But here, beyond the fact that they'll be occupied for 2 hours.
And I'll try my best to make everything succeed. Tell me what is my life without your love. Tell me who am I without you by my side. Oh, tell me what is my life without your love. Tell me who am I without you.
Wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun? Wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun? Wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun?
We wouldn't need the police no more, cause everybody'd have a gun.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun? Wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun? I had a gun. Wouldn't it be great if everybody had a gun?
25 before the hour. This hour is being sponsored by David Welsh. Thank you, David. His message: I enjoy your show and appreciate the opportunity to listen. You can watch now, too, David. We may be doomed by our collective folly, but we can still save each other, one at a time. Yeah, we can. There was a lot of that that went on here in Atlanta with the Snowmageddon thing that we had with the ice and the traffic. I guess you saw it on your network news. They've been carrying it a lot, if you watch network news. Anyway, back to this new bullet. This company, Advanced Ballistic Concepts. You like that? It's a concept. A new type of ammunition allows shooters to fire one bullet and hit a target 3 times. And according to the manufacturer, they make this statement: because more than 90% of shots fired in life or death situations miss their mark, Advanced Ballistic Concepts has unveiled bullets that split into pieces connected by Kevlar fiber. Jesus Christ. Somebody named Todd Kuchman invented the multiple impact bullet, which his company now sells under the slogan, because when your life is on the line, you can't afford to miss. The result is 3 rounds from one shell that's spread out to a diameter of 14 inches for a handgun and 2 feet for a shotgun or rifle. The company president said in this month's announcement of the multiple impact bullet, the company says that this will increase your odds of hitting your attacker on the first try. Or, you know, a kid that finds a gun and fires it at his little schoolmate, now he'll hit the schoolmate.
You know, I've been thinking that what we needed was a way to make guns more deadly.
Yeah.
Because they're just not deadly enough. And finally, some brilliant inventor has come up with a way to make guns more deadly. Now, if only cigarette companies could find a way to make cigarettes more deadly.
Put three of them together.
3 of them together, like 3 different types of really toxic chemicals and kill you fast. But see, cigarette companies want you to live long enough to smoke lots of cigarettes before you die. So
yeah, that's true.
That's different, whereas bullet manufacturers really don't care. Yeah, merchants of death. But you know, I don't just sit around and think, how can we make guns kill people better?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well,
we're not killing enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to make them deadlier.
Of course, you got to consider this too. When the revolution comes, this might be a good thing to have.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think they have that in mind.
This new bullet, it's called the multiple impact bullet, is out there because the manufacturer website says because stress and fear increases the risk of firing wild. The new bullets aim to encourage no more panic fire. And Kuchman, the guy who owns this company, Advanced Ballistic Concepts. He says, it's been selling gangbusters. In fact, our website crashed after our initial press release. Well, okay. Here, let me just finish it up. The ammo sells for $49.99 for a 10-pack of 45 caliber rounds. You actually get 30. A 10-pack of 12-gauge shotgun rounds sells for $59.99. You actually get 30. Think about it, Truth Seeker. Meanwhile, a group of Democratic lawmakers is seeking to revive this gun control legislation, or not legislation, there is none, but the efforts to write some on Capitol Hill. This after Obama pledged in his State of the Union address last night, or 2 nights ago, to take action regarding this issue with or without Congress, he said. Oh, please. Come on. Anyway, 3 Democrats, Alan Lowenthal of California, Mike Thompson of California, Elizabeth Esty of Connecticut, introduced a House resolution Wednesday. And, of course, a House resolution is only that, isn't it? Just a resolution. The resolution calls for renewed congressional action to reduce gun violence in the United States. Here's what the resolution says. Now, this will cause all the NRA gun nuts in America to feel an immediate twinge in their groin from this resolution. Here's what it says. Expressing the sense of the House of Representatives that gun violence is a public health issue, and Congress should enact, by the end of the 113th Congress, comprehensive federal legislation that protects the Second Amendment and keeps communities safe and healthy, including expanding enforceable background checks for all commercial gun sales, improving the mental health system in the United States, and making gun trafficking and straw purchasing a federal crime. Oh, no! They make straw purchases and gun trafficking a federal crime. Why, the morning after that, there'll be a knock on your door. And it'll be Obama with a whole herd of Muslims there to take your guns. In a statement, Representative Lowenthal said there's no need to lay out another statistic about the prevalence of gun violence. It is, as we are seeing on the news, on almost a weekly basis, a public health episode. I mentioned before, I had some friends here who, the husband, Mark, Mark Rosenberg, I'll just say his name. I mean, he's had enough death threats. He's a doctor, Dr. Mark Rosenberg. He worked at CDC also. And we used to attend the same, workout sessions at this pool, a swimming pool. And he told me he worked at CDC. This was about, you never met Mark, did you? This was before I met Kathy, so I'm talking like 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And Mark, at one point, I had him on the program I did for WSB Radio a couple of times, interviewing him on public health issues. And one of the issues that he was seeking a grant for from Congress was to make an epidemiological study of gun deaths, gun violence in the United States, where it concerned, he was going to start with children and then broaden this study to include adults. And as soon as word got out, because, they publish this stuff on public government websites about grant requests. And this was to be conducted through the CDC immediately when that was published. All of a sudden, Mark Rosenberg got more vitriolic attacks and death threats. It was astonishing. And he was just a public health doctor. And his field was epidemiology. That's why he worked for CDC. This is a guy who had traveled all over the world, trying to understand epidemics and how to prevent them, or once they got started, short circuit them. This guy was dedicated to public health. He was not in private practice. Public health. Good guy. And he showed up one day at the pool and I swear, maybe I was imagining it, but he looked pale and shaken. And I asked him, I said, what's the matter? And he started telling me what all of a sudden he was going through. Now, this is before emails. He was getting letters. Letters were going in. Phone calls were going in to CDC. And to, somehow they got his address. And he was getting letters at home threatening. I mean, just, and I said, at the time, I had kind of been through that myself. And I said, well, you got to understand one thing. First of all, these rat bastards who threaten you will only do that because they are essentially cowards down to the bottoms of their feet. I wouldn't worry about it. But the pressure that was applied to the CDC, who runs the CDC? I forget what government agency runs it. But the pressure that was applied by the gun lobby absolutely killed the project. It never happened. Now, I don't know what happened subsequent to that. If there have been those kinds of studies to treat gun violence the same way you would treat a typhoid epidemic or a bubonic epidemic, to study the cause and effect, to work back through the history of gun violence, find the circumstances that lead to it, the circumstances that mitigate it, like any epidemiological study. But no. I'll tell you, there's a streak of insanity in this country, a unique streak of insanity. There's several streams of insanity, religion, political, so on and so forth. But there is a unique stream of insanity that flows right through, if it doesn't originate with, these freaks at the National Rifle Association. These people are goddamn crazy. There's no other word for it. Totally wacko nuts. Just crazy, just out of control. I don't like crazy, you know. I don't like living in a society where there are this many streams of absolute insanity flowing every place you look. You got to be careful where you step these days. You'll step into another stream of nuts and just be sucked away. We'll be right back.
Got a cold 45 in here with me. I'll scare off intruders in my fatigues, black jacket and army boots. My neck is red, my collar blue. I like it that way. I don't hear liberals talking to me. I don't see things their way. Yeah, I'm on the right side. I'm on the right side. The only side. Hey, listen here.
Hi, Truth Seekers. It's Kathy Malloy. Seasons are changing, and for some of us, the dark winter months and approaching holidays can negatively affect our mood or make us feel sad. I would like to tell you about Insight HT, a physician-designed supplement used by doctors for over 13 years to help their patients manage stress, feel happier, and more optimistic. It's produced right here in the United States by Nova Nutrients, the makers of NovaJoint. Insight HT is specially formulated to promote healthy brain function, improve your mood, and give you the peace of mind that comes when you're less anxious or depressed. Unlike other supplements, Insight HT works right away, so you don't have to wait for weeks or months to notice any difference. Get a special price on Insight HT with the discount code MIKE when you visit novanutrients.com or click on the ad at MikeMalloy.com. Don't worry, be happy. Try Insight HT today.
Attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how. Somewhere in her smile, she knows something in her style that shows me. Don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how. You're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know, I don't know. You stick around now, it may show. I don't know, I don't know. Something in the way she knows, and all I have to do is think of her. Something in the things she shows me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how.
I'm a Republican. I believe in gun control. I've got all my guns under my control. I don't need security. I've got a Colt 45 in here with me. I'll scare off intruders in my fatigues, black jacket and army boots.
10 before the hour. This hour has been sponsored by David Welsh. David's message: I enjoy your show and appreciate the opportunity to listen. We may be doomed by our collective folly, but we can still save each other, one at a time. Thank you, David. Appreciate the sponsorship very much, and I like the message too. Remember last year, the State of the Union address, as ridiculous as all of them are, you know, there are some emotional moments in those addresses. They're designed to be emotional, and they usually are. And last year, it was the president addressing the Sandy Hook tragedy, and which occurred just 2 months before, in December. And he made a plea on behalf of gun violence victims, several of whom were present. Remember Gabby Giffords, the member of Congress, who a Glenn Beck listener understood that Glenn Beck was telling him to go kill Gabby Giffords, and that Sarah Palin had put a scope target on Gabby Giffords' congressional district. So when you have Sarah Palin in one ear with her shrieking goddamn banshee noise, and in the other ear you have this psychopath Glenn Beck, and both voices are telling you, the voices in your head, you saw how crazy that son of a bitch looked like, the guy that shot all those people and killed them and severely wounded Gabby Giffords. When you have Palin in this ear and Beck in this ear, you're liable to goddamn do anything. Anything that the voices in your head tell you to do. So Gabby Giffords, Obama said last year, deserves a vote. The families of Newtown deserve a vote. And Congress, I don't know who stood and who didn't, but he wound up with a standing ovation. And what happened in the years since? Nothing. Except more gun violence. What did I read the other day? How many, there are two statistics out. How many people have been shot dead by gun violence since the Newtown tragedy? The second statistic, how many schools have experienced gun violence since Newtown. And the third and horrific tragedy is how many children have been killed by gun violence since Newtown. There are 2 or 3 lobbies, we could call them, they're worse than that have tied Congresses of the United States, House and Senate, into knots. The Israel lobby, the gun lobby, the petroleum lobby. Well, energy. It's more than just petroleum. Nothing gets done in the U.S. Congress that is counter to those 3 lobbies. There are probably a couple more. I'm sure you can come up with some. But I call every single member of Congress who refuses to acknowledge gun violence and attempt to do the most minimal thing. And that is, if you want to own a gun, go ahead. You can own any gun you want, as many as you want. But here's what you have to do. You have to first show us being the local constabulary, the local police department, that you know how to operate the goddamn thing. If it's a 6-shooter or an RPG, show us you know how to handle it, how to break it down, how to put it together, how to take care of it. Then we're going to do a background check on you. We're going to skin your ass down to your bones to find out everything. And that's very simple. NSA does it now just as a matter of course. We're going to background check you all the way back to your great-grandmama. And if you fail, no gun. And then we'll issue you a card with your picture on it and your thumbprint on it. And you carry the damn thing with you all the time, because if we catch you with your weapon and no card, your ass goes straight to jail. Period. No debate. Then the Second Amendment is totally satisfied. A well-regulated militia being necessary to blah, blah, blah. You know, it really pisses me off, or it used to, it doesn't anymore. I don't mean it pisses me off. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happens. But when I get recertified, to go through that every time, to go through a background check, what the hell have I done in the past 2 years? Have you gone insane? No. Have you robbed anybody? No. Have you broken and entered? No. Have you murdered or raped anybody? No. And yet at the same time, some half-witted tobacco-chewing jerk can go to a gun show and buy a gun and go kill people. It really makes me angry. Now, the NRA's answer to that, well, Mike, you ought to work for no background checks at all. In a pig's ass. I want anyone who has a weapon who's not in law enforcement, and I'm starting not to trust them either, law enforcement or the military. What the hell are you doing with a gun? Okay, protection against what? Okay, I'll buy your argument. Protection. Here's what you have to do to own a weapon. Oh, but if we have registration and all that, they'll come and take our guns away from us. Yeah, that's going to happen next week, isn't it? No, wait, it was last week. No, it was last year. No, it was right after Obama got elected. No, let me see. It was when Jimmy Carter was, right? No. It was George Bush. No, it was John Kennedy. One of those sons of bitches are coming tomorrow to take your guns, right? You sick freaks. We'll be right back.
in the 1958 Edsel, the car that's truly new from nameplate to taillights. New from the front. New from the side. New from the rear. Only Edsel has the sleek, clean line design that sets it apart from the look-alike cars. And it combines new looks with the newest V8 engines in the world, the big new Edsel 400 and the power-packed Edsel 475. And with Edsel's exclusive Teletouch drive, you drive more safely, more easily than you ever have before, because both hands can stay at the wheel while the Edsel shifts electrically. And remember, of all the medium-priced cars, car for car, across the board, the 1958 Edsel is the one that's new and the lowest price, too. So see your Edsel dealer.
I think, you know what I think? Yeah, I think we do. Is this Reverend Hammond in Wasilla, Alaska? Hello, Reverend Hammond? Where are we? There he is, Reverend Hammond.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you too. Fine now.
Okay.
So, I read this thing you wrote in the newspaper, this op-ed piece about the Antichrist being gay. Really?
Yes, sir.
And you believe that because
that's what the Bible says.
That the Antichrist would be gay.
Right. There's
all right. Well, that makes sense to me. I think homosexuals are trying to destroy everything anyway. So,
oh, yeah.
I just don't understand why this continues to go on. Especially homosexual men. I don't mind so much lesbian women. Matter of fact, I have to be honest with you, Reverend, they're kind of fun to watch when you get those videos that they're always sending out on the emails. But men doing it together, good Lord! I mean, where does that come from?
Well, it comes from man's rejection of God.
Yeah.
If you look at what Romans chapter 1 says, it's a progression. In fact, I'm kind of debating my next article, and you see very clearly in Romans chapter 1, Paul shows a very clear rejection of God in favor for creation.
You know, somebody one time when I was a teenager had the audacity to try to convince me that Paul himself was gay. And because he wrote such anti-woman stuff, about women being silent in church and so on and so forth. But I don't believe it for a minute. What do you think is going to happen out there in California? Do you think they're going to be able to, allow this horror, this sinful, this man on man? I mean, what comes next after men marrying men? Then what? Men marrying animals?
Well, haven't you read the piece? There was some
I've got it right in front of me, right here.
Yeah, she married a dolphin.
Oh yeah, the one that married the dolphin. That was, that must have been somebody who was high on drugs, or not, high on Satan, probably.
Yeah. So, hey, Mike, I'm not familiar with your show. Can you tell me a little bit about your show?
Yeah, we're essentially a politically oriented fundamentalist program that tries to wait a second. What? Oh, I got to take a break. Can you hold on a second?
Yeah.
All right. This is music that means we're going into the break. So just stay right there, Reverend Hammond. All right. We're talking with Reverend Ron Hammond, who wrote in the Matsu Valley Frontiersman, Wasilla, Alaska, yesterday. Will the Antichrist be homosexual? We'll be right back.
I'm all washed in the blood of the Lamb. For like the snow. If you lay down.
10 before the hour. We are talking with the Reverend Ron Hammond, who wrote in the Matsu Valley Frontiersman newspaper in Wasilla, Alaska, the article that was in today's paper, Will the Antichrist Be a Homosexual? And we had left a message on his answering machine about giving us a call here on the program in Atlanta. What amazes me, Reverend Hammond, is that so many people apparently don't read their Bible. Leviticus 18:22, Romans 1:26 and 27, and 1 Corinthians 6:9, that all talks about this sinful abomination. And then people out in California want and what now? 5 states where marriage is between these lost homosexuals, marriage is legal. How can that be?
Well, it's just an indication where America is. America is in revolt against Christianity. Of course, the Bible tells us it would be that way in the last days.
Mm-hmm.
Also tells us that the last days we would see a very compromised church. And you look at the average church in America, and that's exactly what you see.
Do you think this news tonight about North Korea threatening the United States, is this something that has to do with gay marriage in the United States?
Oh, I have no idea about that. You know, the Bible
I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways, His wonders to reveal. And I'm just wondering if, because it says in the latter days there'll be wars and rumors of wars,
right?
And this certainly is unnerving in North and South Korea. The South Koreans, of course, being very Christian, and the North Koreans being godless atheists. And I just, it has me upset, is what I'm trying to say. Do you have any idea which homosexual is the Antichrist?
No, he's not going to be revealed until I'm gone.
Until you're gone?
Well, are you going up in the rapture? Do you believe in the rapture?
Well, the rapture? Oh, yeah, when everybody floats up, when the great getting up morning, when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. That's what that song means, you know.
Well, that's...
when the trumpet of the Lord... Where'd it go?
I'm afraid it just raptured on out of here.
No!
There's part 2. There is part 2. I will try to figure out a way to squeeze part 2.
See if you can find that one where the guy called and we talked about gay days at Disney World. Remember that one?
God, yeah.
Oh, my God, that was hysterical. Oh! Welcome back. 7 past the hour here on the Malloy program, and probably where you are too. It is not church night. It's just that, actually it's not gun night either. I don't know what the hell this is. But I wanted to get this across to you. American Atheists launched an anti-prayer Super Bowl ad. Have you heard about this? They won't let, who's the movie star whose ad won't run now? The blonde, who is it?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, her ad was killed because of what? She pretends like she's taking her clothes off? I don't see anything wrong with that, do you?
I thought she decided, well, you wouldn't have, But I thought she decided that she didn't want to be associated with something about SodaStream. I just saw a brief.
Well, SodaStream is a company that is based in Israel, and okay. there has been talk about boycotting it. I thought that the censors at whatever network.
ABC.
is carrying.
ABC's carrying it.
Yeah, that they had decided no, they couldn't do that, and then she turned around and said, "No, I'm not going to do it anyway because of the company." I don't know. The point I'm trying to make here is that the controversies that usually surround the ads on Super Bowl Sunday, the controversies are usually more fun, almost more fun than the commercials, which are almost more fun than the game itself. So this story kind of fits into that category. The president of American Atheists, a guy named David Silverman, has launched an anti-prayer billboard directly across from the Super Bowl stadium. And all it says is, a Hail Mary only works in football. which, you know, he said in a press release, prayer is superstition, plain and simple. It's 2014. It's time to stop believing that prayer works. Give credit where credit is due and celebrate what this is really about. This is really about coming together to cheer on hardworking athletes doing what they do best. So the billboard, and I like the way Huffington Post puts it, mocks the common Christian prayer used to ask for the Virgin Mary's intercession. And the message is a Hail Mary only works in football. Some may find the billboard to be offensive and even proselytizing, and well, they'd be right. The billboard also promotes the American Atheists' upcoming national convention in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City. Well, you take your message where it's going to get the most attention, right? Remember when they had one here? That's when we met Kate in the desert. The use a Super Bowl to promote an ideology. Really? Last year's Super Bowl featured a commercial sponsored by the Church of Scientology. Remember that? Remember the ad that ran? It ran after the Super Bowl too. Very strange ad. When I watched that, I thought, "Oh my God!" It's mind control. The Scientology to me is just the most twisted. It almost makes me think that Christianity makes sense. You know, when you compare Scientology, they came from outer space, and L. Ron Hubbard was just totally a psycho. And his joke was he left Scientology when he, croaked or went to Booga Bob or wherever the hell they go. I don't know. That's a different topic.
Kolob, get it right, Kolob.
Kolob? Is that where it all started?
They go to the planet Kolob.
Kolob.
It's a planet where God lives, or God lives on a different planet.
Oh, good.
But everybody gets a planet.
Okay. The American Atheist billboard might strike some as unique in the category of promoting a religion you support. If you believe that atheism is a religion, that's the newest thing. They say atheism is a religion. Oh, that's right. I'm a priest of atheism. I graduated from seminary. Anyway, the managing director of the American Atheists, I guess, puts it this way. Amanda Creef is her name. During the Super Bowl, people of all religions and atheists come together as a community. Like many in New Jersey, we at American Atheists are excited to be part of the event. And with this billboard, we share our voice. Bless your hearts. God bless you, American Atheists. I don't know. It just never stops. Edie in Atlanta sent me an email after the State of the Union the other night. She said, Mike, you remember when President Carter came to get us off oil with the power of the sun? Remember when he looked into the camera and asked for our help? Then the Reagan Democrats threw him out of office. When I think of how much better off we and the rest of the world could be by now, I could scream. Millions of our fellow citizens are with where it concerned the 2009 global climate change conference in where was it? Was it Oslo? Copenhagen, right. So we will be chatting about that in the third hour. So stick around for that. But Edie's email kind of prompted me to look that up. And then we have this. I swear to God, MSNBC is really starting to just irritate the hell out of me. Listen to this and tell me how Fox, the Rupert Murdoch terror broadcast organization, would have handled this the same kind of a situation. Here's what happened. There was a tweet that went out during, it has nothing to do with the State of the Union, but I think it went out and the Cheerios, yada, yada, yada. Well, the ad that's coming out in this Super Bowl is the same family, same characters. I don't know if they're a family, same actors. And they're telling the little biracial kid, you're going to have a little brother. And, of course, he's just playing with his Cheerios. It's a little girl? Okay. Well, who can tell these days, right? I mean, the cute little haircuts and everything.
They're biracial and transgendered.
So the tweet went out. Somebody at MSNBC sent this tweet, maybe in response to this new Cheerios ad that's going to run on Sunday. Maybe the right wing will hate it, but everybody else will go, aw, the adorable new hashtag Cheerios ad with biracial family. And predictably, all kinds of outrage followed. All kinds of racist sons of bitches in this country, and gun nuts, and your teabaggers, and your right-wingers, and the Sarah Palin crowd, and the Glenn Beck collection of miscreants. You all went nuts! To the point where MSNBC not only has the president of MSNBC apologized, but the person who sent the tweet has been fired. We'll be right back.
Are all rich and free, but they chained my mind to an endless tune when they took my only son from me. I know it's true, oh so true, 'cause I saw it on TV. I know it's true, oh so true.
Hi, Truth Seekers. You asked for it, and we finally listened. Now you can support the program with a contribution in any amount you select, and you can use your PayPal account to do it. Just go to MikeMalloy.com. Donate as little as $1 or as much as you like. We value and appreciate you as well by purchasing a podcast for yourself, for a gift, or to donate for a trivia contest, or you can reserve a sponsorship advertising a small business or celebrating a special occasion. These sponsorships are a unique way to express yourself and spread your message to the people. And at only $100 for an hour, they're the best bargain on the air. And you know your contribution is supporting our independent broadcasting efforts, so your humble and obedient servant here can rage another day. So what are you waiting for? Visit MikeMalloy.com, click on the sponsorship tab, and I'll read your message 3 times during the hour you choose. Thank you for your support. You know, we can't do this without you.
Although I couldn't feel the pain, I knew I had to try. Now I'm asking all you, help us save some lives. Bangladesh, Bangladesh, but so many people are dying fast. It sure looks like a mess. I never
"21 past the hour." So the whole story, MSNBC President Phil Griffin. Now remember, MSNBC, like NBC, is now the majority shareholder in MSNBC is Comcast. And Comcast, if ever there was a right-wing corporation, Comcast happens to be it. I don't know how the stable of liberals on Comcast or on MSNBC, how they're going to continue to coexist with the ownership of MSNBC now. This is going to be interesting to see, right? And it's going to be sad to see. I'm just mark my words. But the president of MSNBC, Phil Griffin, apologized today for that tweet by the network that outraged conservatives. The poor little bitchy conservatives, the poor little things, they don't have any. So, to Phil Griffin, you know, I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're apologizing for this. Maybe the right wing will hate it, but everyone else will go, "Aw, the adorable new hashtag Cheerios ad with biracial family." That is absolutely correct. It's a correct statement. I mean, the conservatives have been mocking Obama because of his biracial background ever since before he took office. So, Republican National Committee Chairman Rince Repeat decided to turn the tweet into the issue of the day, calling on conservatives to boycott MSNBC. Oh, for Christ's sake, they already do! What conservative listens to MSNBC? His goddamn hair would go on fire. His head would explode. So Phil Griffin, MSNBC president, oh my God! Rinse Repeat has said, "Oh, we are irritating conservatives. Oh, God forbid we should irritate conservatives." What the hell is the function of your network? A tweet. So this is Griffin's statement. This afternoon, he offered a lengthy apology and then a personal apology to Rinse Repeat. Rincy Priebus. This is what the president of MSNBC said. "The tweet last night was outrageous and unacceptable. We immediately acknowledged that it was offensive and wrong, apologized, and deleted it. We have dismissed the person responsible for the tweet. I personally apologize to Mr. Priebus and to everyone offended. At MSNBC, we believe in passionate, strong debate about the issues, and we invite voices from all sides to participate. That will never change." Cheap talk, Griffin. The Republican National Committee later said that Phil Griffin and Rince Repeat Priebus had spoke on the phone, and that Rince Repeat has accepted Griffin's apology. I don't goddamn believe this. The poor babies. Have you noticed how sensitive the dear little conservatives are? Ooh, Oh, what's the matter, conservatives? Did you get your little feelings hurt? Did somebody, I don't know, do something? Did that tweet just ruin your day? You miserable little bastards. Did it really? Aw, for heaven's sake. Well, Phil Griffin will fall all over himself. You know, what is Melissa Harris Perry? What is Rachel Maddow? What does anybody who is a real lefty on that network, and there are only a couple, what do they think that the president of their network just bends over backwards to provide something for Reince Priebus that you and I would never give him, and publicly humiliates himself? The president of MSNBC humiliates every single person who works there, especially the on-air crowd, and then fires somebody for making such an innocuous tweet as the one I shared with you. They're like Christians. The Christians are the most persecuted group in America, aren't they? Poor babies. And the Republicans and the conservatives, just like the gun nuts. They're coming for you, right? Gun nuts. They're depriving you of your rights, right? Conservatives. They're destroying your religion, right? Christians. Oh, for God's sake. I would disagree with Greg Palast for the first time in my life. This nation's not an armed madhouse. It's an armed kindergarten with a bunch of little 3-year-olds running around saying, I'll show you. No, you won't. Yes, I will. What did you say about me? Oh, did you tweet about me? Oh, well, nobody's letting me bring a cross in your face. Oh, my rights are being destroyed. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Get me out of here for a while.
Life is funny. Skies are sunny. Bees make honey. Money, more for me.
Hi, Truth Seekers. Kathy Malloy here, back with another testimonial from NovaJoint, the physician-designed supplement for smooth gliding joints. It's worked for me, and it's working for our listeners, too. A Truth Seeker in Los Angeles writes, since I started taking NovaJoint for sore fingers and hands, I noticed that my nails are stronger and don't break anymore. What a great side benefit at only 1 capsule a day. I would have bought NovaJoint just for this. By the way, my hands felt better with NovaJoint in less than 2 weeks. I'm telling my friends. Well, thank you. I'm telling my friends, too. Return to those daily activities you used to enjoy. And, hey, enjoy beautiful nails, too. Visit MikeMalloy.com and click on the NovaJoint ad and use the special discount code MIKE, or save even more on 3 bottles when you use the code MIKE3. Stop hurting and be happy.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron, the iron you need to build healthy blood, to keep your body function properly, and to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Ironized yeast tablets provide you with a simple and effective way to get the daily iron your body requires. Ironized yeast is a concentrated iron tonic combined with high-potency brewer's yeast, one of the natural sources of vitamin B1. And every daily dose of ironized yeast gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Of course, pallor and weakness can come from other causes, so see your doctor regularly. So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, get new pep, vigor, and color for only a few pennies a day. Start taking ironized yeast tomorrow.
All right. Now, what Kathy was trying to show you there is the Girl Scouts, Juliet Lowe being the founder of the Girl Scouts, right?
Right here in Savannah, Georgia.
In Savannah, Georgia. So what are you trying to say to people? Because I don't think folks could read that.
So Saturday, my little troop of 10 fourth graders is hosting World Thinking Day for our service unit. Like I said, there's going to be like 200 scouts, and we're in charge. I'm very proud of my girls. And so we are collecting donations.
Talking to the mic.
We're collecting donations from all the scouts. Suggested $1 per scout for the Juliet Lowe World Friendship Fund, which sponsors girls' travel around the world for international exchanges and learning experiences. Yeah, that's all.
So
I'm just sitting here working on my World Thinking Day stuff. I've got my guacamole dip recipe. And,
okay, but I think people might have been.
I made the God's Eye craft. Everybody who gave me craft suggestions
I think people might have been confused about why you had a great big sign up that with a great big word that said donations.
Oh, well, you can send it here too.
And you can't read the smaller print.
It's a Juliet Lowe.
You're just not used to doing video streaming, are you?
I'm not a video gal. I'm more of a cowgirl.
You know, I'm worried every night we come into the studio what you might do because you're not familiar with.
I'll tell you what I won't do.
Oh well. Show us your.
No. You can keep asking, but maybe we'll have a Kickstarter. Different. We have a whole different set of prizes now that we have video streaming, right?
Yeah.
We could auction off the dog. Rusty, come here.
You and what's your name on Morning Joe?
Mika Brzezinski.
You and Mika, huh?
What? Does she have a dog she's going to auction off too?
No, Mika is just, I don't know. Mika is just starting to, I guess somebody at MSNBC told her to, to fight back a little bit to this spousal abuser partner of hers on the morning show. I mean, I think he's
honestly, is this not the cutest dog
I've got to leave. I can't.
You've ever seen. I mean, look. Hello. Say hello, Rusty.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Just go ahead and take my half of the screen off, okay? No, go ahead.
Look,
Thank you.
Look.
Okay, I'll go to the chat room for a while.
It's my dog. Say hi. See, there's a camera, Rusty. Right there. Hey, hello. He got a bath today.
If Bob Kincaid is watching this, please, Bob, help me, please. Bob!
Oh, Bob would be the first one to say.
Bob Kincaid, help!
Okay.
Help!
Never mind.
They ought to get rid of somebody at MSNBC and give Kincaid a program. That's he would be great. Wouldn't Bob Kincaid be great?
Amen to that.
Oh, my God.
I'll go work for him. He's already got a bang-up producer, so.
Something in the way she woos me. I don't want to leave her now.
.25 before the hour. In Hammond, Indiana, on Tuesday, when Atlanta was going belly up, and let me get something straight here. I'll get back to the story in a second. When I moved to Atlanta 40 years ago, there was 1 million people. Now there's 6 million. And they're not all Southerners, not by any stretch of the imagination. These are people that have come from all parts of the United States, like I did. This debacle that we had on Tuesday was not a result of 2 inches of snow. It was not the result of all of a sudden people in Atlanta going, ooh, 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 snow. What caused that horrific mess that went on down here Tuesday, Wednesday, partly today, and the schools are even closed tomorrow, was an inability of the governor of Georgia to govern Georgia. This freakish, what's his name? Quickly.
Nathan Deal.
Nathan Deal.
You don't know who it is?
Who, I have a mental block against his name. He should be in jail on a number of different charges. But Nathan Deal, who tried to blame the weather forecasters for not letting the metro area here in Atlanta know how severe it was going to be. Severe in terms of ice and the inability of people. All you need is an eighth of an inch of ice and you're doomed. Especially you live in an area that depends on cars the way it does here in metro Atlanta. So the governor, a total dumbass, the dumbest dumbass, he makes people in the legislative leaders in Alabama look brilliant. I mean, Nathan Deal is just about as stupid as they come. The mayor of Atlanta, Kasim Reed, also was off his game. There should have been a state of emergency declared. The weather services, the local weather reporters, the National Weather Service were telling people in Atlanta, you are going to be hit by something that is going to immobilize you do something. Well, nobody did anything. Until right about the time the storm started, all of a sudden, the order came from the superintendent of schools. It came from the governor's office, and it came from the mayor's office, all at the same time. Everybody go home! Right now. Yeah, right now. Everybody go home. Everybody, quick, go home. Ice is coming. Ice is coming. Well, okay. So everybody said, okay, let's go home. So all of a sudden, see, the population of Atlanta goes from about 450,000 at night to about 1.5 million during the day. That extra million are commuters that come in from the suburbs. There's 6 million people down here, but about 1 million come in every morning. They go home every afternoon. Rush hour in Atlanta coming into the city is 2.5 hours long. Going out of the city is about 2.5 hours long. So all of a sudden, you have 1 million people, and nobody carpools down here. Are you kidding me? So you have 1 million people, call it 500,000 cars, kaboom, all at once. Well, gridlock. This is exactly what happened in, was it Houston in 2005, Hurricane whatever, where they said, everybody get out of town. Everybody tries to leave Houston at the same time. What happens? Gridlock. I mean, that's where we are. Nobody in positions of authority in Georgia or in Houston at the time used their brains. So now what they're saying is, well, now from now on, if we ever have this again, we're going to stagger things. We're going to let the kids go first, and then the business community, and then government offices. Well, gee, you finally realize that. So Kasim Reed and Nathan Deal have just had been reamed on national television because of the inability of either one of them to figure this out. I mean, how bright do you have to be? You don't tell 1 million people to go home all at once when there's an ice storm coming. Oh my God. Just wanted to clear that up. So Tuesday, when we were dealing with this here, warehouse workers in Hammond, Indiana, marched through a local Walmart supercenter to protest frigid working conditions. You heard about this? Contractors at the Walmart Consolidation Center in Hammond marched into the store on 5th Avenue in Hammond to notify the public about freezing weather conditions in the warehouse. Workers said the third-party warehouse, of course, Walmart's not going to dirty their head. Warehouse workers, we have enough trouble with the bell ringers and the greeters. We're not. Blah, 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 blah. Third-party warehouse operated by LINC Logistics Insight Corporation. Do you like that? Logistics Insight Corporation provides no heating, and damaged warehouse doors in this facility allow these icy winds to go right through the facility. Protesters presented a signed letter to a Walmart manager, but he wouldn't accept the letter. I don't want your letter. Here, take the letter. I don't want your letter. I'll get fired if I take your... I don't want your letter. The store manager declined to comment when asked by the Northwest Indiana Times, why didn't you take the letter? It's just a goddamn letter. It wasn't a hand grenade. It was a letter! No. I can't take letters. I'll lose my $12 an hour job. You know, I'm a manager. One of the workers, 19-year-old, said he worked the second shift Monday night when the temperature dropped to -9 degrees. For you Republicans, that's 9 below zero on the Fahrenheit scale, with wind chills of 19 below. Inside this facility, the wind chill was -18 degrees inside a Walmart warehouse where these workers are supposed to be putting together packages inside a workplace. So about 10 workers, joined by 15 community members and organizers, marched around the checkout counters at this Walmart, chanting, "Shame on you," and "Take the letter." I won't take the letter. Take the letter. No. Take the letter. No. Into the woods. No, I'll scream. Into the woods. No, I'll scream. How loud can you scream? Eek. Into the woods. This is not funny. Working at that warehouse, this 19-year-old said, for $10 an hour, it's not a way to live. It's dangerous. This 19-year-old said, I had on 3 pairs of joggers, 2 long sleeves, 4 sweaters, 3 pairs of socks, steel-toe boots, and I was still cold. Now, the facility is in violation of standards that Walmart puts on these third-party contracts already. But who's going to enforce it? Huh? Who's going to enforce it? Leah Freed of the Warehouse Workers for Justice organization said, quote, "We want to ensure that workers in the warehouses have heat." Jesus Christ, really? That outrageous a demand? Heat? She said, "We want to be sure that the workers in the warehouse have heat, but more importantly, that they repair the building. The broken doors," she said, "on the docks let in rain and snow and cold wind. Imagine having wind chill indoors." Take the letter. No. Take the letter. No. Ms. Freed said that the same signed letter presented to the store manager who wouldn't take it also was presented to managers at the warehouse, at the warehouse, where they were all working with a wind chill of -18 in the facility. And those managers wouldn't take it either. Take the letter. No. Take the letter. No. Oh, please go away with the... Oh, my God. I don't want the letter. Not the letter. Anything but the letter. Anything? Oh, I work for Walmart. I can't take a letter. Oh, please. No letter. Please. Because no action was taken, the workers at this facility in Hammond, Indiana, decided to seek attention another way. The letter claims that workers are not certified to drive forklifts, and yet they're instructed by their managers, drive the forklift. No. The equipment is poorly maintained. Workers are let go when organizing for job security or working conditions. Diana G., a spokeswoman for Walmart, said the retail corporation expects third-party operators to provide a safe work environment. She said, "We expect our service providers to always provide a safe and healthy work environment, and we have been in contact with the third-party provider at this facility. They have informed us not only that they have recently closed the facility multiple times due to adverse weather, they also give their employees discretion to take breaks as needed to warm up." Well, That's the point where the workers can say, we rest our case. We need to take a break to warm up. Take the letter. No, I can't. Take the letter. No, I can't.
Your welcome has been
How lucky that you dropped
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
My sister will be suspicious.
Gosh, your lips look delicious.
My brother will be there at the
Waves
door.
upon a tropical shore.
My maiden smile is so vicious.
Your lips are delicious.
Well,
Hey, Two Seekers,
maybe.
Mike Malloy here. If you've been on the fence about trying a joint care supplement, then now's the time to try Nova Joint. How often do you find a product that actually works as advertised? We've heard it from our listeners, and we're satisfied customers here at home. Here's what Sam from Los Angeles had to say. Quote, I had run out of Nova Joint in my vitamin keeper, so I went without for maybe 2 weeks. And let me tell you, I had a back attack behind the shoulder blade. I drive a lot in L.A., and it's very intense, and I find myself tensing up in my arms and hands. Anyway, when I remembered to get Nova Joint back into my vitamin keeper, I could feel the difference in just 2 days. This is just a great product. End quote. Well, it's a great product indeed, True Seekers. So what are you waiting for? Use my discount code MIKE to try Nova Joint today, or save even more on the 3-pack when you enter Mike3. Share these codes with your friends, and listen, visit novajoint.com and love how you feel.
Because you're sweet and lovely, girl, I love you. Because you're sweet and lovely, girl, it's true. I love you more than ever, girl, I do. I want you in the morning, girl, I love you. I want you at the moment I feel blue. I'm living every moment, girl, for you. Go, Johnny, go. Them old 12-bar blues.
Okay, so at the end of this hour, I think I found it. I can play part 2 of that
Elmore James
conversation that Mike had with the Reverend Hammond. Yes.
I don't know if people could hear you. You got to talk right into
No,
it.
I'm talking. People can hear me.
Okay.
So I'll play part 2
After this break, when we go into the top of the hour.
When we go to the top
Okay.
of the hour, and
Okay.
then we'll be signing off.
Yeah,
and
stick around for
signing
that.
off the video.
Because I forget how that ends. I'm going to have to hear that.
I don't
too.
know if the complete part 2 is on there or not, because I thought you kept that guy on the line for like an hour.
I want you to find the one where I talked to the guy about gay days at Disney World.
I don't know if I can find that one or not.
That poor miserable bastard. When I got to the point about, I told him my solution would be to bomb, get all the queers in there and then bomb Disney World.
put 'em all in the small
he
world
stopped
ride.
and he stopped talking. Even he went blank.
You said get them all. It's a small world, and like throw canisters in.
And he, I don't know that we go that far, Mr. Malloy.
But then I think he called you a true Christian or patriot or something.
I think he did too. And then he. 10 before the hour. The end of that Walmart story, I just, Walmart, of course, is going to say, well, it's not us. We didn't do that. That's one of our third-party contractors. We didn't do anything. The Walmart statement continued. It says, we have an ongoing third-party auditing process to help ensure that all our service providers are providing a safe working environment. If and when an issue is ever brought to our attention, as in, take the ladder. No! Take the ladder. No! If and when an issue is ever brought to our attention, we work with our third-party providers so that any needed action is immediately taken. I wonder how much Diana G. gets paid to be such an enormous liar. Probably a lot. Now, another one of the demonstrators, 22-year-old, says he's worked at the facility for 2.5 years. He decided to protest the conditions along with, 10 or 12 of the other workers in hopes of winning more respect for the workers who help supply Walmart stores. Respect. This 22-year-old said, quote, we're working and fueling the Walmart stores in the area. We deserve to be treated as human beings. We don't deserve to be in the cold. We don't deserve to keep getting fired when we protest. What did Diana G. say? If and when an issue is ever brought to our attention, we work with our third-party providers so that any needed action is immediately taken. You know what the needed action is? Fire the people who are protesting. That's the needed action, right? The 22-year-old also added, quote, we've got to put a stop to getting fired and working in the cold before someone gets terribly hurt or frostbite. They should at least have the decency to hear our voice. Diana G. Whenever an issue is brought to our attention, we work with our third-party providers so that any needed action is immediately taken. And according to Northwest Indiana Times, LNC Logistics Insight Corporation did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And they probably never will respond, except with some bull hockey statement like, we always work to make sure that our workers are in a safe, secure, and friendly environment. And anybody who says we don't is a goddamn liar and probably a communist union organizer and probably voted for Obama. So we rest our case. It's coming. You know it's coming. I know it's coming. The workers know it's coming. And, according to that article I had shared with you that Krugman wrote the other day, the oligarchs in this country know it's coming too. This cannot continue. Let me close out this hour with this Gallup poll yesterday. What's the date today? Is this the 30th? On Tuesday. We were all busy here in Atlanta on Tuesday. Gallup headlined one of their polls. Democrats and Republicans differ on top priorities. What they're trying to say, the Gallup poll found that Democrats are more compassionate, Republicans are pretty much, for the most part, psychopaths. Gallup reported on the biggest difference between supporters of the two parties. For example, the environment. 71% of Democrats said it's important to make sure the environment is secure. Only 32% of Republicans. The distribution of income and wealth. 72% of Democrats said, yeah, that's an important issue that should be worked on. Only 38% of Republicans. Poverty and homelessness. 82% of Democrats said that's an issue that should be resolved. Only 43% of Republicans. Education. 91% of Democrats versus 70% of Republicans. Of course, to a Republican, education means teaching them creation science. That's what education means to a Republican. Keep the young people stupid and ignorant like we are. We're Republicans. We're teabaggers. We're conservatives. We are the dumbest collection of half-wits ever assembled, and we like it like that. So don't be telling our kids that something's going on a billion light years from Earth. There is no such place. The heavens, with all those little lights up there at night, that's not up there that far. And you know what those lights are? Those aren't stars billions of light years away. Those are little pinpricks in the heavenly shade. And the pinpricks let through the light of heaven. That's what that is. And it's not that far. Don't be telling our kids lies. Oh, God. Priorities. The military and national defense. 76% of Republicans say yes. 61% of Democrats. Ugh. Taxes. 70% of Republicans. Yes! 56% of Democrats. It just goes on and on like this. The conservatives, Republicans, everything is selfish. Everything is, I don't know, Neanderthal-like. Not to insult Neanderthals, but you can infer from the survey that the main difference between Democrats and Republicans is the difference between compassion and psychopathology. I mean, there's no other way to interpret this Gallup poll. All right, stick around, okay? Ed Snowden's latest revelation. You're going to find this a lot of fun. I'm Mike Malloy.
Everywhere you go, across the country trip or across the street party, you carry the fun with you when you own a Columbia stereophonic high-fidelity phonograph. There's a marvelous selection of 7 new portable models in smart new color combinations at your Columbia phonograph dealer, from which you may choose. Each one is a masterpiece of design and beauty. More quality, more features, and more styling have been built into these sturdy portables than ever before. How much fun you'll have enjoying all the wonderful new sound of stereo records. Regular records take on new beauty, too, when played on handsome Columbia portables. You'll be amazed at the big console sound that is reproduced by Columbia portable stereophonic high-fidelity phonograph. You'll thrill to the excitement of Stereo One by Columbia, #1 in the wonderful world of sound. And Columbia portables are economical, too. Prices start as low as $24.95. See them and hear them at your Columbia phonograph dealer.
The trumpet of the Lord shall sound, and time shall be no more. You're familiar with that, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
now tell me, are you a Christian?
Oh, am I a Christian? Is the Pope a Catholic?
Well, I don't know who Mike Malloy is.
Yeah, well, sometimes I don't either. Is the Antichrist here now?
I would think so. I would think he's someplace ready to be revealed. But right now,
oh, that's
God is
spooky.
holding him back.
I wonder if it's Kim Jong-il.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, you think it's somebody that speaks English? Hey, wait a minute. Stop everything. Do you think it's Barack Obama?
Actually, I don't.
Okay.
The Bible says...
Thank heavens for that.
The Bible calls him the Assyrian.
The Assyrian? Oh, that's right. Well, what is he? He's,
But here's something for you.
Yeah?
Before the Antichrist comes along,
yeah,
there will come along a world ruler who will be a raiser of taxes.
Well,
and what is Mr. Obama doing?
He's raising taxes the last time I checked. Yeah.
So that means it's close.
Well, this whole thing makes me a little bit nervous. I try to read my Bible as much as I can. I read Ephesians 4:15. I read 1 Peter 3:15. We had a godly man here in Georgia, Representative Brown. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's trying to get 2010 to be declared the year of the Bible. Do you support that idea?
Oh, I would. If only Congress was godly enough to do something.
They're not. They're a bunch of sinful, you'll pardon the expression, whores, but they're not godly. I don't think there's a godly man. Well, maybe. There might be 2 or 3.
They're in the minority, that's for sure.
They're definitely in the minority. There's a lot of Jews there. Do you know Sarah Palin?
I do not know her personally.
You
no.
don't?
Nope.
Well,
she doesn't go to my church either.
Well, you're Baptist, right?
I am.
I think she's a little bit further into the space cadet place than Baptist. I was brought up Southern Baptist, and we don't really get involved. We handle snakes down here, but we don't get involved with exorcisms. And I saw a piece of video that showed a dark-skinned man standing close to her. I think he's putting his hands on her, casting out demons.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, I wouldn't either. This was on the computer thing.
I wouldn't believe anything you saw on the internet.
Well, that's true too. That's true too. Well, listen, Reverend Hammond, if you have any more writing that you do, we will certainly be on the alert for it, and I hope to have you on as a guest another time, and we can explore further the threats that some of these people are.
Well, that sounds good. I appreciate your hospitality and give me a call.
I think it's fair to say that the internet is Satan's keyboard. That just came to me.
And there's a reason why it's called the web.
Oh.
People get tangled up in it.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. All right. Well, listen, thank you. I appreciate what you had to say, and I hope you have what time is it out there? We're way over here in the east. What time is it where you are?
It is almost 8 o'clock.
Almost 8. It's almost midnight here. How's your weather? Is it warm there this time of year, or?
Yeah, it's getting so warm. It's man, we're about 73. I'm about to die.
73 degrees in Alaska? Oh my goodness. All right, well listen, Reverend Hammond, thank you. You have a nice evening.
All right, take care.
All right, sir. Take care. You too. Well, I don't know, man. But I am a demon from hell! I have taken over the Malloy program. Suck it on my deedle and get a back out.